Peace and love, family. Welcome to my channel. If you're already a part of the SHREEM Squad, welcome back. If you're not, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on all this important, juicy information on the daily, on the weekly. So this video, this is some new crucial information I found out. Very, 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 very crucial. It might not seem like it. I know you've seen the title, but cows and SHREEM BRZEE, right? This is how feeding cows, the act of just feeding cows, creates wealth, abundance, and prosperity, right? So let's dive into it. So starting off, the siddhas, 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 you know, they're like some old school rishis, old school yogis, like, you know, some very spiritual, enlightened, ascended master type folks. So when I say siddhas, that's who those are, just generalizing. So the siddhas, which is actually part of Dr. Palai's lineage. So these are actually like pretty much like his ancestors. He is directly connected to them. That's probably why he's able to, channel and talk to these, beings so frequently and easily, because they're actually related to him. So these siddhas are perfected masters who have journeyed beyond enlightenment, right? Through divine grace and their own intense spiritual practices, the siddhas acquired and attained siddhi powers, SIDDHI, siddhi powers. It's pretty much like supernatural, supernormal powers, right? So they develop these siddhi powers, and they are able to perform supernormal, supernatural feats beyond human comprehension, right? So one of the greatest siddhas from this siddha tradition, the siddha Edaikadar, Edaikkadar, this siddha reveals the innumerable blessings of feeding a cow, right? So you have these enlightened masters, right? They're telling you how important it is to feed cows. So look at all of these benefits, right? I'm gonna give you a whole list of all these benefits that comes from just feeding a cow, right? So Edakadar, one of the 18 eminent Tamil siddhas, and highlighted the benefits of feeding and serving a cow in his book, I.C. Newell, AASINOOL. Look that book up. This perfected enlightened master said this about feeding cows. This is all the benefits that comes from it, right? 1, grants prosperity and financial stability. Feeding a cow grants prosperity and financial stability. It destroys poverty, removes negative forces. It solves problems in profession and improves income. It removes marriage obstacles. It fixes your marriage. Feeding a cow. It gives blessings of progeny, which is pretty much like blesses your bloodline, your offspring. Progeny is your offspring or your descendants, or whatever. So it blesses them. It grants good health, acumen, and longevity. Acumen is just making good, quick decisions, right? So all you business people, all you entrepreneurs, or you stock traders or anything like that, feeding a cow will help you make quick decisions on the whim. It will help you make good, quick decisions. It also promotes unity in the family, improves and increases business profits, impart positive thoughts and strong mind. It gives you it gives you positive thoughts and a stronger mind. It improves students' ability and memory power. Helps your memory. It helps you receive blessings of gods, goddesses, and gurus. It promotes peace and compassion, enhances nature's welfare, and prevents natural calamities. It instills inner peace and compassion, and it contributes to the nation's prosperity and well-being. Now, with all that being said, We're talking about feeding cows. All these great, pretty much financial benefits, wealth benefits, and living abundantly just by feeding a cow. Now, if you really think about it, let's think about it. Well, okay, I'll save that for later. I'll get into that after I tell y'all the rest of this, of why, feeding cows has all these great benefits, right? So they say that feeding a cow is equivalent to feeding 330 million gods. Feeding a cow is like feeding the gods, 330 million of them, right? Gods and goddesses. The cow is regarded as the living embodiment of goddess Lakshmi on the earth plane and is regarded as a sacred being, right? We all know that cows are very sacred. They're worshipped very heavily in the Eastern Hemisphere, not in the West, right? So cows are considered the most sacred animals according to yogic traditions. According to the ancient Vedic scriptures, all celestial beings reside in a cow. All celestial beings. Powerful. Cows are very powerful. The Vedic texts say that the sacred act of feeding a cow is equivalent to feeding all the gods and goddesses. The Vedic texts say that it is very auspicious to feed a cow and is one of the most sacred deeds you can perform to gain material blessings. One of the most important acts you can perform to gain material blessings, right? And spiritual merit. According to the Brihat Parashara, that's Brihat Parashara, Smriti, Smriti. According to this, one of the foundational sacred texts on Vedic astrology, right? This text says that 330 million gods and goddesses live in a cow. The gods, all the gods and goddesses reside in the cow. So that's why feeding them is considered the most sacred act ever, and it's pretty much equivalent to feeding the gods themselves. So now let's break this down and really think about it, right? Think about the Western Hemisphere, the West. Think about the U.S. and the state of America. And then think about the Eastern Hemisphere and the state of, their culture, right? I'm going to just say I haven't seen any poor Indian people, right? There was actually I couldn't find the article, but it was like someone in the 1800s or like early 1900s traveled to India, and said that they didn't see any beggars. There was nobody poor type deal. Most people on the Eastern Hemisphere are pretty spiritual. Their nations are doing pretty well. But if you look at America, right, what do we do with cows? We eat these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, and look at how crazy and how much turmoil and bad shit goes on in the US daily, you know what I'm saying? There's poor people all over the streets, Our nation's wealth is not that good as the Eastern Hemisphere's wealth and all that stuff. Like we have a whole city for a homeless people. Motherfucking Skid Row. There ain't no Skid Row nowhere else but the only nation that you go where we eat the most goddamn cows. Think about that. Think about that shit. Eat that burger, you get the meat sweats. That's the gods chilling in your stomach, bro. It's hard to manifest with the gods in your stomach, all that karma you're building up. So please, if you can, at all way possible, stop eating cows, stop eating red meat, We're not even getting into, trying to go find somewhere where you can go feed some cows and do this, and just to help yourself out. But at the very least, don't eat them, bro. Like, because this is why they're worshipped, It's a big deal, Worshipping cows is like worshiping the gods, yo. So I hope this connects some dots for y'all. So if you can, find somebody with a ranch or something that got some cows and Go feed some cows and see what happens, you know, with your financial and your financial karma and your income and all that. I just thought this was very interesting, you know, and this was all on SHREEMBRZEE.com, SHREEMARAKARA.com. One of Dr. Palai's, I think it's his Asian community website, talks about this, you know. Lakshmi resides at the end part in the rear. Specifically, Lakshmi resides in the rear of the cow, right? So if you don't take anything out of this video, treat cows well and your life will probably start to prosper. You know, put the burgers down if you can, and yeah, see if any positive changes happen in your life. I just wanted to drop that knowledge on y'all real quick. I thought it was very interesting. Yeah, love y'all. Peace.